from KSAT 12. The News at Noon starts right now.
And we have new developments involving the case of a mother and son found dead last month. We now know the mother's cause of death.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner confirming that 32-year-old Savannah Krieger died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It happened back on March 19th when an Amber Alert had been issued for Krieger's 3-year-old son, Caden. The same day, their bodies were found in a drainage ditch near Tom Slick Park. Caden's death ruled a homicide. Investigators believe Savannah shot and killed her son. As of right now, though, a motive is unknown. We have some new information being revealed about a bizarre police encounter over the weekend that ended with a man dying in a parking lot after a Narcan shot.
Police now offering more details about the call at a restaurant in the 3400 block of Fredericksburg Road near I-10. The caller said a man was inside a restaurant throwing things around and taking off his clothes. When officers got there, they found the man, 38-year-old Kevin Booth, under a car, and he was nude from the waist down. Officers got him out, placed him in handcuffs, but Booth passed out in their custody. The officers gave him a shot of the overdose medication Narcan. Both Booth died at the scene. The actual cause of death is unknown. The medical examiner will now perform an autopsy. Major developments out of North Carolina where 4 officers were tragically shot and killed. The suspect of the shooting has now been identified. This is an old booking photo of 39-year-old Terry Clark Hughes. Authorities were trying to serve Hughes a warrant for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon when he opened fire. Officers shot back, killing him. In total, 4 officers were killed, 4 others were injured. So far, 3 of the officers have been identified. Sam Palachi and Alden Elliott both worked for North Carolina's State Department Adult Corrections. They were killed in that shootout. And Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department officer Joshua Iyer also died in the shooting. Now to a Know My Neighborhood update. An East Side Community Center expected to receive a major renovation starting early next year. But the Ella Austin Community Center offers vital services to the community.
It does. So what happens to all those services while the renovations are underway? Our Patty Santos is here with those answers and more on a community meeting that is happening today.
The Ella Austin Community Center has become a neighborhood hub in the East Side, serving as a space for communities to meet, youth services, childcare, and more, says Jessica DeValina with the city's Human Services Department.
The Ella Austin Center has been providing community services since the early 1970s.
Starting at the end of this year, the center will see a $23 million transformation. $11.5 million of that was approved through the 2022 bond. The rest is funded through the Inner City Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone funds.
This is an old historic building that's about to get a big makeup. And not only the building, I think it's the services that will be provided out of the services. I think it's a jewel in District 2.
Luis Maltos with the Public Works Department says the majority of the building will be demolished, except for the main building, which just turned 100 years old.
We're basically gutting the entire main building, redoing all the plumbing, all the electrical, all the HVAC systems. So we're probably building a new 38,000 square foot facility.
So what happens to the services and nonprofits working there now?
They're actually going to be right now looking at space to move some of their programming so that we can minimize the impact to having service disruption with the different programs.
The hope is that construction will be wrapped up by the summer of 2026 and that the Ella Austin Center will once again continue to be revered, just like its namesake.
She was a founder of an orphanage in the East Side, and she really was one of the pioneers in providing community neighborhood-based programming in the East Side, and so the center is named after her to kind of continue that legacy that she started.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
If you have any questions about the impact to your community, or if you have something to say about what types of services you'd like to see at this center, there's that community meeting happening today. It is at 5:30 at the Ella Austin Community Center. It's located at 1023 North Pine Street.
Outside with live cam, let's see, a lot of, well, not that many clouds, but some humidity, some higher temperatures. Summer must be just around the corner or something.
I think you may be right. When you say some humidity, you mean A lot of humidity.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. We can see it almost. The air is thick, and it's going to feel a little bit warmer than that actual air temperature this afternoon. As temperatures really do start to warm up. Yesterday we got up to 90. We'll be just shy of that, I think, today. Right now we're at 82. 84 in New Braunfels, 83 Pleasanton, 79 Bernie, 80 in Kerrville, in a good south-southeasterly wind that is bringing in that high humidity. The forecast for today should take us up into the upper 80s. There is a small chance of a shower or storm, although I think that basically lives out west. Places like Del Rio and Eagle Pass could see a couple of storms this evening. I don't think we'll see much here in San Antonio, but clouds will rebuild tonight, thicken up, and then I think we'll start tomorrow with some drizzle and maybe a few showers. So let's talk weather headlines here. Rain chances peak tomorrow, showers, a few storms, maybe a risk of some strong storms there. Also, we've got some hazy skies. It's not just the humidity. We've got smoke coming in from Central America. We're going to talk more about that and how that impacts our forecast. Plus, the weekend is trending drier and warmer. We'll look at that for you if you're making plans for Saturday and Sunday. All of that coming up in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Look forward to that. Happening right now, San Antonio police are searching for the people who burglarized an ATM early this morning. It happened around 4:30 at a Chase Bank near Stone Oak Parkway and Evans Road. Police found a hammer, crowbar, and a blowtorch at the scene, but no suspects. It's estimated the burglars took more than $1,000. Investigators will be looking at surveillance video for additional clues.
Right now, a woman is seriously hurt after San Antonio police say that she was hit by a possible drunk driver in a Walmart parking lot. It happened around 11 o'clock last night near Loop 410 and Rigsby Avenue. Police are saying that the woman was either getting off of work or going on a break at the Walmart when a driver hit her in a pickup area of the parking lot. SAPD says that the driver was arrested for suspicion of DWI. The woman taken to the hospital.
What was your reaction when you heard that the Institute was going to get this money?
We are excited. We're excited, but we are not surprised because we are doing cutting-edge research here.
Greehey Children's Cancer Research Institute, only one of two institutes in the entire United States dedicated solely to pediatric cancer research, and it was recently awarded millions of dollars to advance that research.
Tiffany Huertas takes us to one of the labs here in San Antonio where scientists are trying to find new and less toxic treatments for childhood cancer.
This is called tissue culture room, where these cells are sitting inside these incubators, where they're live cells. They came out of patients which have cancer, and then basically we test them whether any drug which we are discovering here is good enough or not.
This is one of the 21 labs at the Greehey Children's Cancer Research Institute at UT Health San Antonio, located in the medical center. Dr. Manjeet Rao is a professor and deputy director at the institute.
The goal of this institute to threefold: to find new therapeutics, new treatment for pediatric cancer patients, also to improve their quality of life and education.
There's researchers from all over the world. How is that helping with the mission of this institute?
Right, that's really important because our goal is to bring the best brain from all over the world, who not only understand cancer research, but also dedicated to doing and finding something new. And that's why it's important. And it has helped us tremendously. We have scientists from all over the world representing from Mexico, from Canada, from India, from China.
And new funding from the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, or CPRIT, will help advance cancer research.
The CPRIT money is going to play a very important role. This is given to one of our scientists here who works on Ewing sarcoma. And Ewing sarcoma is a soft tissue sarcoma that affects little kids, and it's very nasty. Once it's metastasized to different organs, there is no cure for it.
UT Health San Antonio was awarded approximately $16.4 million from CPRIT over the past 6 months. $10.4 million of it is going to the Greehey Children's Cancer Research Institute, or to some area of pediatric cancer research.
And so this money is going to help us understand what makes these Ewing sarcoma cells not to respond to drug, why they don't respond to drug. What can we do about it?
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
So, to bring community awareness to the more than 15,000 children in the U.S. annually diagnosed with cancer, the Greehey Children's Cancer Research Institute is hosting the Gear Up Against Kids Cancer bike ride. It's going to be taking place on May 11th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the Floresville River City Park. The funds are going to be supporting, of course, the Research Institute and their mission.
Hockey kind of like NASCAR. You wait for that big crash to come. Stars taking on the Knights with a little extra to show you coming up. Ouch.
I think that was a foul. And the summer travel season is nearly here. The 4 things you can do to save money while booking your vacation. Memorial Day marking the unofficial start of summer, and that is now less than a month away. So a lot of people are looking to book their summer trips.
There are a few things you can do to help save money while you're booking your trip. Some of the things are booking your trip in the United States 21 to 60 days out, as well as traveling on a Tuesday. When it comes to international travel, it's recommended to book 30 to 60 days out and traveling on a Monday. That can help save you some money. If you're looking for a tropical destination, you can score some good deals this summer.
Summer is actually considered off season, so you actually can travel there for better value than in, say, January.
All right, a few more trips, though. If you're going to go to the tropics, beware of the start of hurricane season when you book your trip, and watch out for hidden resort fees that can rack up a bigger bill at the end of your vacation. One of those, oops, where did that have? What is that on my bill? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Pay attention.
And I actually got stuck at a resort in Mexico during a hurricane. So I can tell you, pay attention.
Yes, especially as you start getting into August.
Yes.
That's when you got to really watch out there in the Gulf of Mexico. But even July, but more so August and September for sure, when the hurricane season is really roaring at that point. Aquifer is down 0.4 of a foot to 638.9, going down after coming up for a while with the rains last weekend. Molds are moderate at 640. Pine is low. Pecan is low. We will talk about our rain chances tomorrow. When and where might we see some storms? That's coming up.
So today's like a little warm-up for tomorrow. It's like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And
Yeah, but my deal is this. If we got to have such bad hair days, could it just rain already? All right.
Oh.
SA Live. We're going to SA Live.
He's the one to ask. Yeah.
Okay, talk to the weather guy about this.
Yeah.
He's in the hot seat right now. So, hey, let's go back to our childhoods.
Ooh, way back, yeah.
Yes, way back. For all of us, not you. Because guess what today is?
What's that? Childhood Remembered Day?
Bugs Bunny Day.
Oh.
Fun.
Greatest cartoon character ever.
I agree.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so there's our question of the day. Scan that QR code. Who's your favorite Looney Tunes character? The choices are on the screen. Bugs Bunny, Tweety, Daffy Duck, Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, Speedy Gonzales, Roadrunner, the Tasmanian Devil, Porky Pig, or Marvin the Martian.
Do you remember Saturday mornings, the Looney Tunes, and they'd come out and it was overture, curtain lights. This is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit.
If you don't answer
on
fast,
with the
he'll
show.
keep
This
singing.
is.
I don't know. That's
Man,
a good
that's
one.
an all-star lineup right there.
I know, right?
That's tough.
I'm going to go with Elmer Fudd. He was always misunderstood.
Kind of.
I like the Roadrunner. The Roadrunner always won.
Okay, without looking it up, I've got a trivia question for you.
You
Don't worry
do?
about it. Yes.
Shocking.
So, do you remember I think it was just 1 or 2 episodes, and there was that red kind of furry monster with the high top gym shoes.
with the eyes.
What was his name?
Oh, man. Come on.
I remember that.
What was it?
Yeah, he had the white gym shoes.
Gossamer.
Gossamer.
There's some trivia you don't hear every day.
So you know what the question of the day really is now? Does Justin remember Porky Pig and because he's
Elmer
Justin's kind
Fudd
of young.
The Tasmanian Devil.
You remember all that?
Of course I do.
Okay, good.
I used to love Looney Tunes. Tasmanian Devils. Yeah, whatever sound he makes. That was great. And I'm glad that it looks like Bugs Bunny was in the lead. I mean, he's kind of the...
Of course, it's his day.
Yeah. Let's look at some smoke. We got to talk about what's going on down in Mexico. In Central America, smoke's coming up from agricultural burning down there. This happens every year. Now, we're not going to get too concerned about this because this is a yearly event. But if you've noticed a little more haze in the atmosphere, sunrises and sunsets, you can really notice it. This is why. Mixed with some humidity, of course. But the smoke is funneling up into Texas at this point just because of the winds. The good news here is the air quality is still okay. We're in a moderate category, which is where we live most of the time. We have not jumped up into unhealthy for those who are sensitive. So I don't think it's too much to worry about, but you may notice a haze in the atmosphere. We wanted to let you know about that. 82 right now. Dew point is at 66. Thankfully, that number has dropped a little bit. South-southeast Philly winds at 16. It's still humid no matter how you slice it. But if we can see that number go down a little bit, that's always a good thing. 86 at 3 o'clock, 87, 4 o'clock. As we mentioned, there are some very small rain chances today. I don't think here in San Antonio we're going to see much, if anything, but out west there could be some storms that develop later today. We dip back down into the 70s tonight, and we'll see more showers and drizzle coming up tomorrow morning. But in the afternoon, there's just not much here around San Antonio. But you look out west, we'll see some of those storms come off the mountains of Mexico, and they could hold together moving into places like Del Rio and Eagle Pass before they fall apart tonight. Now let's go into tomorrow. 7 a.m. I know this does not show much, but I think we could see some drizzle, some light showers early in the morning. Then by midday, a couple of light showers starting to develop. We're going to have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere tomorrow, all the way through the atmosphere. So this means that if we do see some heavier storms, it could be good rainfall producers. But the question is whether or not we'll get those. And this is around 6 o'clock. This model does not show much. But I think at this point we could see a few thunderstorms. And then there's going to be a complex of showers and storms moving across Texas. We'll be on the southern end, the tail end of it, but we could get some storms tomorrow night into early Thursday morning because of that as well. So there's some opportunities here. I'm going to put rain chances at 40%. And there is a risk for some severe weather tomorrow. Low end risk, but a risk nonetheless. Excuse me. On a scale of 1 to 5, about a 1. The higher risk for severe weather is going to be out across parts of West Texas, but here there is a chance. Hail and gusty winds will be our main threat. And then as far as heavy rain goes, the heaviest of the rain is going to be up around Dallas, Shreveport, up to Oklahoma City. But even here, especially in the hill country, half an inch to an inch will be possible where we see storms. Of course, you got to get underneath one of those storms first to get the rain. But I think we have at least a decent chance of rain tomorrow, 40% here in San Antonio. 30% Thursday, 30% Friday. We'll look for some small chances over the weekend, but chances will be winding down at that point, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, a lot of buzz about East Central softball team. They're the Hornets, you know. Buzz. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So far, the East Central softball team stinging the competition. They beat Lee in the bi-district round this past weekend, advanced to the UIL Class 6A area playoffs. We got a chance to see how the Hornets are preparing for their next opponent, Bowie. The Hornets lost 8 girls from last year's team that made it all the way to the regional finals. So what do the players love about this year's team, and what's helped them reload and stay successful?
I think it's our mindset, we're looking for it now, we expect it more. We expect to win, and I think now we hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we're meeting that standard right now.
We need to just have fun in the box. Don't think about what's on the line, just go out there and be you and have fun.
We have a pretty good team this year, a lot of speed, a lot of power. Just be ready. We're going to do really good.
That we fight. We always fight. We'll find a way to come back, either that we're really behind or we're just really ahead. We'll still keep fighting.
That we're strong. We're coming for them. We're coming for that same run that we did last year and hoping for more.
All right, the first game for the Hornets area playoff series against Bowie is Thursday, 7 o'clock. Wimberley High School is where that's going to take place. Hey, the Dallas Stars keeping their playoff dreams alive after they lost 2 in a row at home to Las Vegas. The Stars have come back to tie the series. Last night, the game started out with some huge hits from both teams. First, Logan Stankoven.
You don't want to stank it up.
No, you don't. Look at it. He did. Ooh, look at these. Just look at these hits for a second, then we'll just move on. Dallas.
That's what it's all about.
That's all. Yeah. I mean, look at this. Maybe we got another one coming. That was it. Well, we already saw it. There's an open goal shot.
There's some love. There. Look at him.
All right. There you go. There's your hockey love for the day. How about that?
And no fight broke out.
There's a couple of good hits though.
Okay.
Bam.
All right. Still ahead in our next half hour. We do have more news for you. A mother has finally been sentenced for her role in her 5-year-old's daughter's death. What family members had to say about this case.
Plus, what a national organization is doing to help domestic violence find a safe place to stay, and how this helps people here in San Antonio. Texas Rangers taking over the investigation into a deadly chase and shooting in Converse.
One man is dead, 2 others in the hospital after police say they were forced to shoot a driver who was running away from them. It started near New Braunfels, ended here in Converse near the Kitty Hawk Road and FM 78 exits. DPS says it started when the troopers tried to pull over a 38-year-old driver in Comal County. They say that driver would not stop and sped off, then crashed into a truck. State troopers say they tried to tase the suspect, and when that didn't work, they had to shoot him. The suspect died there. A woman riding with him was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Another woman who was in the truck that he crashed into was also taken to the hospital. Today, your last day to vote early for the May 4th municipal election. Your vote will determine multiple bond issues and races. The polls are open from 8 to 8. We have a sample ballot and a list of places where you can vote. It's on KSAT.com.
Outside with live cam, there was several days back in March, maybe even February, we were talking about going on the porch and having your lunch or sitting outside at the restaurant. I'm not sure that this is the kind of weather you want. I think if you didn't go, you missed it.
The weather has turned on us.
Yeah. When we mentioned that, we said, do it now because you got a few weeks. There's just a small window in San Antonio where we get that great weather, and then it basically transitions right into summer, which is almost where we are. I wanted to show you a picture yesterday. If you were looking south and east out of San Antonio, you saw a billowing storm there in the distance. And that was down near Floresville. We had one rogue storm develop along an outflow boundary, and it did put down some rain. Actually, it was briefly severe. This is the kind of stuff we're going to start to see. Outflow boundaries next couple of days will dictate when and where we see storms, but the possibility is there as we get into tomorrow. For a little more coverage on the radar, we're calling for a 40% chance of showers and storms tomorrow, some of which could be strong, and then a 30% chance Thursday and Friday. More small chances Saturday and Sunday, but then rain chances start to taper off thereafter. So as we look at the forecast for today, we're up around 87 for a high, 84 in Bernie, 87 Bandera, 87 in Hondo. Pretty much where we were yesterday, just maybe a degree or two cooler, but that humidity will make it feel warmer than that temperature you see there. We're going to take a look at the future radar, the computer models, and we've got some updates coming your way as far as those rain chances for tomorrow. More on that in just a few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Escaping an abusive relationship is an enormous feat, but when it comes to finding somewhere safe to go next, many shelters are at capacity, and that's why a national organization is launching a platform that identifies available beds across Texas.
Courtney Friedman shows us how it works and explains how it affects us here locally. It's part of her series, Confronting Domestic Violence, Loving in Fear.
This is a shelter, but to the women and children who sleep here, this is freedom. But that freedom can be hard to find if shelters are full, which is why national organization The Family Place, based in Dallas, created a bed availability platform called DV Beds.
Someone can call our shelter, and if we don't have space, we can look in an online platform and identify shelter beds with any of our partner agencies.
Interim CEO Tiffany McDaniel said before DV Beds, the burden fell on survivors in crisis who were short on time.
They'd be told that they didn't have space at a particular shelter, and they'd be given this long list of agencies to call.
DV Beds partners with 30 shelters, 29 in Texas and 1 in Arkansas. Locally, there are 2 family violence prevention services in San Antonio and Hayes Caldwell Women's Center in San Marcos.
So let's talk local. Here at the Battered Women and Children's Shelter, this bed is one of 186 that the shelter typically has, and 70 to 80% of the year, it's full. But this is a special shelter. They don't turn anyone away who meets their criteria. If you look at this bed, it can be converted into a bunk bed. They can add cribs and extra beds to rooms like this or elsewhere in the shelter.
Family Violence Prevention Services CEO Marta Pelaez says they also have shelter for men and even space for pets. She constantly uses the DV Beds platform, mainly for relocating families who aren't safe in their own community.
When that abuser has found out, or there is some kind of a sign that he may be in the area.
They can even request specific areas.
When you call in for services and say, I'd really like to be somewhere close to San Antonio because I have a sister there, and we can look in those areas as well.
In 2023, the DV Beds platform had 165,000 logins from people seeking shelter. Now they hope to expand it far beyond Texas and Arkansas. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, we do have a long list of resources for you. Head to ksat.com/domestic violence or scan the QR codes you see right now on your screen.
Katrina Mendoza, the mother accused in the 2022 death of her 5-year-old daughter, Mercedes Lasoya, was sentenced to 45 years in prison yesterday. Mercedes died from what's being called extreme physical abuse at the hands of Mendoza and her then boyfriend, Jose Ruiz. After Mendoza was sentenced, a victim impact statement was read to Mendoza by her Mercedes' great-grandmother, who read statements from Mercedes' older sister that caused Mendoza, who has shown little emotion during her trial, to break down.
Grandma, I don't understand why we didn't leave Jose. Grandma, I am so afraid that my mom will come one day and take me back to Jose's house. I hope that God has mercy upon your life.
Mendoza will have to serve half of her sentence before she is eligible for parole. In response to the sentencing, the Bexar County District Attorney released a statement. It reads in part, quote, "No child should ever experience the pain and agony that Mercedes Lasoya, a 5-year-old little girl, experienced before her death," wrote Bexar County Criminal District Attorney Joe Gonzalez. He goes on to say Katrina Mendoza stood by and watched as her daughter suffered. Now she is being held accountable too. Child abuse of any kind has no place in Bexar County, end quote.
Today, Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board investigators are arriving in Comal County. They want to get a closer look at that helicopter crash in a residential street. It happened yesterday afternoon on Lantana Ridge. That is on a road in Comal County in the Lantana Ridge subdivision between Spring Branch Road and Highway 281. The Hummingbird 260 helicopter went down just after 3 o'clock. Yesterday afternoon. There were 2 men inside and they both died. Investigators have not yet told us the victim's name. Right now, they are trying to figure out how the crash even happened.
Bexar County jury awarded $81 million to the family of a woman who was killed by a deputy U.S. Marshal who was driving drunk. The attorneys for Taylor McCowan's family called the jury's decision a landmark verdict. On January 31st, 2020, San Antonio police say Jonathan Jones, who was driving the wrong way on Loop 1604 in Babcock Road, crashed head-on into 23-year-old McCowan's sedan. The 23-year-old woman died from her injuries weeks later. Jones was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 11.5 years in prison.
Still ahead, a new event center is coming to the San Antonio Zoo, when it's expected to open, and the history it's already making.
Plus, major changes are coming to broadcasting. We'll explain what those are and what you can do to make sure you still see the programming you want to see. That's coming up after the break.
It's the next generation of TV technology.
It's taking the over-the-air environment and making it digital.
It is the next big thing in local broadcasting, and KSAT is making the switch to Next Gen TV. So what is it? What's it for? What's in it for you and us? And how will it change the way you watch TV? You can get all your answers to your Next Gen TV questions by watching our KSAT Explained story on KSAT.com.
KSAT making the Next Gen TV switch in just 1 week. That's next Monday, May 6th. If you want to watch KSAT on cable, streaming, or satellite, you don't have to do anything. at all. We're doing it. If you do watch using an antenna, though, you're going to have to rescan your TV to see KSAT once we make the switch. We're planning to do that again. It is Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you have any next-gen questions, though, you can scan the QR code you see here. It'll take you to the section of our website that is dedicated to everything you need to know about it.
All right, outside with live cam, we got some heat and a little bit of humidity, maybe some rain in the forecast. But first, we want to get to a traffic incident, Justin.
Yeah, this is downtown along Interstate 35. And what you're looking at there is you can see the fire truck, but this crash is just in front of that. There's a trailer that's flipped over and only one lane is getting by. And to show you how bad the backup is getting at this point, I'm going to switch the TransGuide cameras to 35 at Alamo. And traffic is basically at a standstill now. That is, again, just west of downtown. Right as the upper and lower levels come together, that's where that crash is located, again, southbound. So this is going to cause some big headaches today, I'm afraid. It's right there, and now we're starting to see red show up there on the west side of downtown, already backing up towards the Fine Silver curve. So know that that's going to be a problem. I saw the tow trucks pulling up, so hopefully they can get it cleaned up soon, but the lunch hour is going to be a little busy there along I-35. So far today, 82. The average is 83. We're going to be above average again today, maybe close to that 90-degree mark. But thankfully, maybe some cooling thunderstorms tomorrow. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
The San Antonio Zoo officially broken ground on a new event center thanks to a $10 million donation.
The Ralston Center, expected to open in late 2025. It's going to be used for a variety of things, gatherings like galas, fundraisers, wedding, and a whole lot more. It'll be able to hold up to 500 people inside, and it'll have views of gorillas, lions, and the African savanna and downtown San Antonio. The $10 million donation came from the Ralston Family Charitable Foundation. It's the largest donation in the zoo's history.
Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. San Antonio is Military City, USA, and some of our military students are getting some much-deserved recognition.
This video you're about to see, it is from the Purple Up Pep Rally. It's at Nimitz Middle School. It's a project organized by HEB and the Military Child Education Coalition to celebrate those in the student-to-student program, or the S2S program. It's a group that's all about connecting civilian students with military students.
During the course of the whole year, they're learning about leadership, about how to be a better citizen, among other things. But more importantly, they're learning of what they can do beyond their school. This is just another part of that avenue where they're actually involved in something that's bigger than them.
Nimitz Middle School has one of the largest S2S programs in the district. It was back in 2022. It was named the Middle School Team of the Year during a conference that was held in Washington, D.C.
Well deserved. And do we deserve all this humidity and heat already?
I mean,
I didn't mean to stump you.
It's a good question, but there's not much we can do about it, right?
Oh, come on.
It's here, and it's here for the next, 6 months. Let's look at the time lapse, and you can see all that humidity and moisture coming in the form of some low clouds this morning. We didn't see a lot of fog or drizzle, though. And now the sun's popping out, so that just makes it all that much warmer and stickier outside. Let's look at the satellite picture. And we have some passing clouds, but there is quite a few breaks in those clouds today. So just about everyone is at least seeing some sun at this point. More for our eastern counties, a little bit less as you go west of Interstate 35. Temperature-wise, most of us are in the 80s at this point, with 82 at the airport, 81 Hondo, 83 Gonzales, 88 in Kennedy. So we're already pushing 90 there. Same story in Carrizo Springs. 75, that's a cool spot, as it often is up there in Rock Springs. 79, Bernie Stage, and 77 currently at Canyon Lake. There's a scene outside. Some shadows being provided by the cloud cover, but not much. And as we said, temperatures are in the 80s in most spots with a good southerly and southeasterly wind. And this is going to stay fairly elevated today. So it'll be a breezy afternoon. You'll see some gusts close to 20 miles per hour. But where we end up, it's probably the upper 80s, if not a few 90s on the map later today. We hit 90 in San Antonio yesterday, so we shouldn't be far off that mark this afternoon. Warm and sticky, as we said. Okay, tomorrow is the start of May, of course, and we want to remind you that May is our busiest severe weather month. This is the average severe weather reports in a month in Texas. So we're talking about the state in general, but even here around San Antonio locally, May tends to be our month in which we see the most severe weather reports, hail reports, all that stuff. April, certainly we see things pick up, but May is where things really peak, and then even into early June, and then by late June, things tend to calm down. So as we look at our forecast, let's keep that in mind, because I think we'll see some storms tomorrow, and a few of those could be strong to severe. We could even see a few strong storms tonight out west, some of those trying to make a run at Del Rio or Eagle Pass coming out of the mountains of Mexico. I don't think they'll have much success past that, though, so we're not expecting rain here in San Antonio. Tomorrow morning, some drizzle, a few light showers possible to start the day, and then by midday, we're starting to see a few more showers develop, and then by the afternoon, there could be some storms. Now, I know this particular model doesn't show a whole lot, but I think there's potential to maybe see a little bit more than this. And if we do see some storms, as I said, there could be some severe weather involved. There could also be a cluster of storms coming out of the hill country by late Wednesday into early Thursday, another area to watch. In the Storm Prediction Center, now this has changed, and they just updated this, but they now have San Antonio and points north in the severe weather risk, and they've kind of taken out some of our southern counties, which makes sense. The risk a little higher as you get up into the hill country, as we just showed you with that risk of that cluster of storms coming out of central Texas late tomorrow night, or yes, late tomorrow night into early Thursday. 40% chance of storms Wednesday, 30% chance Thursday and Friday. Smaller chances as we head through the weekend, while temperatures definitely stay warm.
All right, Justin, thank you. Hey, still ahead, why Texas roads could soon see fewer 18-wheeler truck drivers on the roads all across our state.
I'm not sure I like this. The next big step in autonomous vehicles may be on a highway near you soon. Get ready for driverless tractor trailers.
Tech companies say they're ready to hit the road, but some want to pump the brakes in the interest of safety. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
These 18-wheelers are designed to carry all sorts of cargo, but one thing they won't be carrying, a driver. By the end of the year, Aurora tractor trailers are expected to begin cruising the highways, hauling freight between Dallas and Houston.
The Aurora Driver is this combination of the hardware, the stuff you can see hanging off the side of the truck here, and then some really interesting software.
To avoid crashes, the self-driving semi is outfitted with 25 sensors, including lasers, radars, and cameras. Within the next 4 years, Aurora and its competitors expect to put thousands of these autonomous trucks on the road, transporting goods nearly around the clock, hoping to accelerate product delivery times and lower costs for consumers. But critics aren't sold on the safety.
The company's going to decide when they think they're safe. And the only thing the regulators are going to do is judge them after the fact if something went wrong. That's where we are.
But Aurora's CEO, touting safety, demonstrated the truck's ability to weave through obstacles and avoid pedestrians.
We want to be out there with thousands or tens of thousands of trucks on the road. And to do that, we have to be safe.
Meanwhile, with pedestrian fatalities on the rise nationwide, up more than 80% since 2009, new action to make cars safer. A new federal safety regulation will require all new cars and trucks be equipped with automatic emergency braking, or AEB systems, which use sensors to hit the brakes to avoid a crash when the driver fails to. Beginning in 2029, AEB systems will be required to prevent collisions with other cars at speeds up to 62 miles per hour, and will be required to stop entirely before hitting a pedestrian at up to 45 miles per hour. Regulators say the technology could save hundreds of lives per year.
Most new vehicles already come with some form of automatic braking. Automakers have until 2029 to adopt the new standards. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
So when you're beside an 18-wheeler driving down the highway and you look over there, it's nobody.
Remember when you used to do like that and then they would hit the horn? No one's there to hit the horn.
No. That doesn't make me nervous.
No. All right. Have you had a chance to catch your breath from Fiesta? Because coming up Sunday.
Oh, yes. We
Cinco
have
de
got,
Mayo.
yes, the big celebration, Cinco de Mayo. And joining us right now,
Jerry Bertle, Southern Tapsters. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are y'all?
Okay, you got a big discount for folks coming up here, and
we've got some awesome Cinco de Mayo cocktails.
and this is a way to make a drink smoky without Any smoke?
Yes, saves a lot of time, and it's right in HEB aisle. It comes smoke, keeps
Smoked mangoes in a jar.
Yep.
You can't beat that. So, all right. And also coming up this weekend, a huge women's event, the Viva Mexico Women's Festival. We're going to have a preview of that. Then,
oh yes, check out all this beautiful jewelry. There's one element here, of course, that you like to work with. Oh, the
can't forget about Texas Seeds coming up on the 11th big festival, and some fried chicken there. Now we get some Mother's Day jewelry.
Yes, all right. Joining us now, Ingrid Hernandez, and it's all made out of
freshwater pearls.
And you've got a big discount too, right?
Yes.
We are going to tell you all about that and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live.